The first domino has fallen as the Toronto Raptors offseason has been put on hold by the Kawhi Leonard sweepstakes, by LeBron James holding up the market, but now things are starting to happen across the NBA. Players are being made available after a big move that happened today, as well as an important date that just happened in this one, and now we are expecting fireworks for this upcoming week in NBA free agency, as it feels like the second half, the second part, the second swing of this year's offseason is just upon us. So we'll break down all the latest developments, all of the latest updates, and what this means for the Toronto Raptors, who still have a lot of ongoing situations that we will be covering in this video. So much stuff to break down in this vid. But folks, if you are liking the daily Toronto Raptors coverage, we missed yesterday. We had a little bit of a scare. The account got hacked, so I couldn't post yesterday, which is nuts. But if you are a part of the 57% of our viewers that are not subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys hit that sub button so you don't miss a single thing that's going on with this team. Because when I have access to the channel, we'll be giving it to you all the latest news as quickly as possible. But let's dive into it, because obviously one of the big scenarios, the second biggest storyline of the summer, is about the potential return of DeMar DeRozan. And we covered this 1,000 times at this point. DeMar DeRozan's interest in coming back to the team. He's made it public himself. His buddy Kyle Lowry has teased it out there in these different videos. We've heard these reports about DeMar DeRozan's interest in joining the Toronto Raptors, confirmed by Doug Smith, confirmed by Jake Fisher, confirmed by other reporters across the NBA. And obviously, we've been waiting. We've been hearing stuff about, hey, do the Torontos want this to happen? Do the Raptors want this to happen? What the heck is going to go on out there in the coming weeks? Well, now we did get a double down, because there was a domino that fell today, which we will discuss. But basically, first, we got more updates on this DeMar DeRozan situation, as basically Mark Stein has confirmed the Raptors have confirmed free agent interest in a reunion with DeMar DeRozan. So again, we've heard this slightly from different reporters that the Raptors have had their eye on it. They've thought about a return for a long time, but it is confirmed the Toronto Raptors are interested in bringing DeMar DeRozan back. Now, after some developments in Summer League, there are some things that are going to affect this, but there are multiple teams across the NBA that are in the mix with, DeMar. So basically, the Pistons are still evaluating the prospect of pursuing DeMar DeRozan in free agency. They made some moves recently, I think makes this a little bit less likely, but we'll see what ends up shaking out in that area. But what's this big domino fall? What is Bobby Webster? What is the rest of the NBA waiting on? Well, over the past couple days, LeBron James came out to Fanatics Festival. He's came out, made some quotes, and essentially all of the indications, all of the news is that after the World Cup, LeBron James is probably going to make his decision at this point. So in the coming days, LeBron James is going to make his move, and then you'll start to see different moves trickling in. And after, so this is something that's known across the NBA, across the league, across that. Then basically, Shams Charania ended up dropping a report today about the first trade we've seen out there in the last few days, the last big move that ended up happening, as news came out that former general manager of the Toronto Raptors, Masai Ujiri, has broken the seal, so to speak, out there on all the moves across the NBA. As, Masai, Sam Presti out there, the Atlanta Hawks. Basically, the Hawks are receiving Lou Dort and Ryan Nembhard in a 3-team trade. Zachary Risache is headed to the Dallas Mavericks, and the Thunder received 3 second-round picks. Now, the Raptors have been a team that's been linked to Lou Dort at times over the past couple of years, less so over the last 6 months since RJ Barrett's emergence, but the fact that moves are starting to pick up again indicates to me the market is no longer on this sort of, chasm, this waiting game. Everyone's dug in the trenches to see where LeBron James is about to go, and things are starting to move, things are starting to happen. And basically, on this DeMar front, news has come out. DeMar DeRozan is likely to make his free agency decision soon after LeBron James officially does. Teams who miss out on LeBron James are expected to inquire about DeMar DeRozan as a contingency option. So this is the first big thing, right? DeMar DeRozan, once LeBron James is we're not going to see a DeMar DeRozan signing happen before LeBron James. It's just the reality of what's going on. We're getting closer and closer to this LeBron decision. We're getting more and more close to figure out where DeMar DeRozan's going to go. And we've seen teams like the Cavs, we've seen teams like the Heat, we've seen teams like the Warriors pop up in this discussions, in this discourse. Well, the Toronto Raptors are still the favorites out there, at least on the prediction markets, to land DeMar. Top, it's 33%. A lot of teams are out there in the low numbers, but the Raptors are still the favorites out there on these different prediction markets. So we'll see what happens with DeMar DeRozan, with everything out there on that front. Over the course of Summer League, basically, Bobby Webster's definitely identified some talent, some guys that make a lot of sense in terms of fitting into this Toronto Raptors team. And we know Nate Biddle, he's on an Exhibit 10 contract. He's a guy that will fit this roster tremendous. I think he's a piece that is going to take a serious consideration a roster spot. But another guy that impressed a lot of Raptors fans is Seth Lundy with how he played over the course of the Summer League. And they decide not to, he's definitely getting at minimum an Exhibit 10 contract. And the Raptors, assuming they sign Nate Biddle, assuming they want that extra bit of 7-foot center depth, which makes 1,000% of sense. They have one roster spot left and one two-way roster spot left, assuming the Kawhi Leonard trade goes through as planned. So, assuming all this stuff happens, assuming is the direction, assuming all this stuff goes, you can either offer Seth Lundy one of those two-way spots, which I think is very, very reasonable, or you offer him a full-time roster spot. So I'll pose the question to you, because some guys aren't super interested in DeMar DeRozan, but type D if you'd rather see DeMar DeRozan get that full-time roster spot, or type S if you'd rather see Summer League standout Seth Lundy get that spot, because it seems like those are the two guys that are most likely in the mix for these right now. And I'll give you guys a little reminder in terms of who DeMar DeRozan still is out there in the NBA, because I know he's old, he's washed, he's this, he's that, he played for the Kings are trash, all that. I'm hearing all that sort of stuff. DeMar DeRozan averaged 18.4 points per game, 3 rebounds, 4.1 assists. He's still really efficient, and if he was coming off the bench, the Toronto Raptors, especially where it is all, if I were a betting man, I would very much bet Kawhi Leonard is going to get suspended for some stretch of next year after everything that's come out of the last little while. Basically, having DeMar DeRozan's insurance as a bucket getter out there for the squad would be very, very valuable. So let me know. I'm just spamming D out there in the chat, out there on this poll, even though I think Seth Lundy would be great out there, especially as a two-way spot. But let me know what you guys think. And it also feels like AJ Lawson's on his way out. But that's not the only thing that, domino to fall, this trade that happened today, the World Cup being over. But people are pointing to Daniel Gafford as a piece that the Toronto Raptors could go after now. And that was, it's been going on for years at this point, but this report has excited some Toronto Raptors fans. As Mark Stein has confirmed, the Dallas Mavericks are actively fielding trade offers for Daniel Gafford. And while we've talked about the center spot, while we've talked about this a bunch over the course of the past few years, if we look at Daniel Gafford's salary in terms of how much money he's going to be making, it's going to be tough to match. Now, Bobby Webster would have to get creative, would have to finesse. I would not want to give up RJ Barrett for Daniel Gafford. I wouldn't want to give up, a bunch of pieces in that. So, Immanuel Quickley still, I don't think Masai Ujiri's going down that route, especially with Kyrie Irving out there on the team. So it just really makes things tough to make the money work out there on a Daniel Gafford trade that is reasonable, even though he would be a very cool big man to have as a backup out there for Big Yak, out there for this team. Of course, Daniel Gafford last season, 9.5 points per game, 7 rebounds, block some shots. DG is very much an effective big man. Not great from the free throw line, but better than Jakob Poeltl. He's a solid big man. Would be a very, one of the best backups in the NBA, a very average, below average starting center, but still, gets injured a lot, all that. But Daniel Gafford would be a cool piece. I don't think it's the best move, but I am bringing it up because some people are saying, hey, after this Mavs trade, the floodgates are opening out there in Dallas. I don't think there's a real opportunity. I think Nate Biddle is a much more reasonable option, a much more just stable piece that you could get. I mean, the fact that Nate Biddle is 1/20th the price it would feel like than a Daniel Gafford out there if he was to get one of those roster spots, a two-way spot. The promise he showed out there in Summer League, his ability to knock down the three-point shot, space the floor, block shots around the rim. I mean, Biddle, give him the shot. Give him the shot rather than giving up a bunch of assets, rather than nuking our team, rather than Bobby Webster having to concoct some insane multi-team trade in order to make something happen for Daniel Gafford. Nate Biddle is the guy that makes more sense to me, but let me know what you guys think out in the comments section down below. We also have Jamarian Sharp, who could be a piece that the Raptors look at, especially at a two-way spot, if you have that open roster position. Lots of avenues that this team can end up going. But let me know what you guys think about all this in the comment section. I'm signing out. Cheers.